Welcome to the world of programming. You've chosen to learn Python, and that's a fantastic choice. Python is known for being beginner-friendly. It's like learning a new language, but this language lets you talk to your computer. With Python, you can give instructions to your computer. It's like writing a recipe, but instead of baking a cake, you're creating programs. Why is Python so popular? One reason is its readability. Python code is designed to be easy to understand, even for beginners. It's almost like writing in plain English. This makes it easier to learn and less intimidating than some other programming languages. Python is also incredibly versatile. Once you learn the basics of Python, you can do so much. You can build websites, automate tasks, analyze data, create games, and even explore the world of artificial intelligence. The possibilities are practically endless. Python is used by major companies like Google, NASA, and Instagram. This means learning Python is a valuable skill to have. This guide will take you through the fundamentals of Python programming. We'll start with the basics and gradually introduce more complex concepts. Get ready to embark on your Python adventure. Before you start writing Python code, you need to set up your programming environment. Think of this as gathering the necessary tools for a woodworking project. The first tool you'll need is Python itself. Don't worry, it's free to download and use. Head over to the official Python website and download the latest version for your operating system, Windows, macOS, or Linux. The website provides clear installation instructions. Once Python is installed, you'll need a text editor. A text editor is where you'll write your Python code. There are many excellent text editors available, some specifically designed for programming. Some popular options include Idle, which comes bundled with Python, Visual Studio Code, Atom, and Sublime Text. Choose one that you find comfortable and user-friendly. Once you have your text editor installed, you can create a new file and save it with the .py extension. This tells your computer that this is a Python file. Now you're all set to start writing your first lines of Python code. In the next section, we'll dive into the basic syntax of Python. Let's learn how to communicate with Python using its syntax. Think of syntax as the grammar of a language. Just like a sentence has rules about word order and punctuation, Python has rules about how you write code. One of the first things you'll notice about Python is its use of indentation. Indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of a line of code. In Python, indentation is crucial. It tells the computer which lines of code belong together. For example, if you have a block of code that should execute together, you indent all the lines in that block by the same amount. Another fundamental concept in Python is the use of variables. A variable is like a container that holds information. You can give variables names, making your code more readable and easier to understand. To create a variable in Python, you simply choose a name for it and use the equals sign, to assign a value to it. For instance, you could write, "This line of code creates a variable called name and assigns the value Alice to it." Now, whenever you use the variable name in your code, Python knows that it refers to the value Alice. Understanding variables is essential for storing and manipulating data in your programs. Python has several built-in data types that represent different kinds of data. Think of data types as categories for information. Understanding data types is crucial because it determines what you can do with your data and how Python interprets it. Let's explore some common data types in Python. 1. Integers. Integers represent whole numbers, both positive and negative, without any decimal points. For example, 10, -5, and 0 are all integers. You can perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on integers. 2. Floats. Floats, short for floating point numbers, represent numbers with decimal points. For instance, 3.14, -2.5, and 0.0 are all floats. Floats are used when you need more precision than integers provide. 3 strings represent text. You enclose strings in either single quotes or double quotes. For example, "Hello world" and "Python is fun" are both strings. Strings are used extensively in programming for displaying text, storing input, and manipulating textual data. 4. Booleans. Booleans represent truth values. There are only 2 possible Boolean values, true and false. Booleans are used in logical operations and comparisons to control the flow of your programs. These are just a few of the basic data types in Python. As you progress in your programming journey, you'll encounter more advanced data types like lists, tuples, and dictionaries, which allow you to store and organize collections of data in various ways. Section 5. Operators putting data to work. Now that you know about data types, let's explore how to manipulate data using operators. Operators are special symbols that perform specific operations on data. Think of them as the tools in your programming toolkit. First, we have arithmetic operators. These operators are used for performing mathematical calculations. They include for addition, for subtraction, for multiplication, for division, for modulo, which returns the remainder of a division, for exponentiation, which raises a number to a power, and for floor division, which performs division and rounds the result down to the nearest integer. Next, comparison operators. These operators are used to compare values and return true or false based on the comparison result. They include for equal to, for not equal to, for greater than, for less than, for greater than or equal to, and for less than or equal to. Lastly, logical operators. These operators are used to combine or modify Boolean expressions. They include which returns true if both operands are true, which returns true if at least one operand is true, and which reverses the truth value of an operand. By using these operators, you can perform a wide range of operations on your data, from simple arithmetic to complex logical comparisons. Section 6. Controlling the flow, if statements and loops. In programming, it's essential to control the order in which instructions are executed. This is where control structures come in. Control structures allow your program to make decisions and repeat actions based on certain conditions. Two fundamental control structures in Python are if statements and loops. First, if statements. If statements allow your program to execute a block of code only if a certain condition is true. They work like this. If condition hashcode to execute if the condition is true. For example, temperature equal, sign 25, if temperature 30, print, it's a hot day. In this code, the message, it's a hot day, will only be printed if the value of the variable is greater than 30. Next, loops. Loops allow you to repeat a block of code multiple times. Python has two main types of loops, loops and loops. Loops are used to iterate over a sequence of elements. For example, fruits equals sign for fruit and fruits. Print, fruit. This code will print each fruit in the list. Loops repeat a block of code as long as a certain condition is true. For example, count equals sign 0, while count, 5 print count, count equals sign count plus 1. This code will print the numbers from 0 to 4. Section 7. Functions reusable blocks of code. As you write more complex programs, you'll often find yourself repeating the same blocks of code multiple times. This is where functions come in handy. A function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Functions help you organize your code, make it more readable, and avoid repetition. To define a function in Python, you use the keyword followed by the function name, parentheses, and a colon. The code inside the function is indented. Here's an example, def greet name. This function greets the person passed in as a parameter. Print fellow, name, greet Alice hash, calling the function with the argument Alice. This code defines a function called that takes one argument. When the function is called with an argument, it prints a greeting message using that argument. To call a function, you simply write its name followed by parentheses and any arguments the function expects. In this case, calls the function and passes Alice as the argument. Functions can also return values using the keyword. This allows functions to perform calculations or operations and send the results back to the part of the code that called them. Section 8. Practice makes perfect. Your Python journey begins. Congratulations! You've now been introduced to the fundamentals of Python programming. You've learned about installing Python, basic syntax, data types, operators, control structures, and functions. These concepts are the building blocks of any Python program, no matter how simple or complex. The key to mastering programming is practice. The more you code, the more comfortable you'll become with the concepts you've learned. Don't be afraid to experiment, make mistakes, and learn from them. There are countless resources available online and in libraries to help you on your Python journey. Websites like Code Academy, Khan Academy, and Free Code Camp offer interactive Python courses. Books like Automate the Boring Stuff with Python provide practical examples and projects to work on. Remember, learning to code is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and enjoy the process of becoming a Python programmer.